once again, we are back live in the man cave Sunday night, 7:30. Another time, another opportunity to talk hoops of the week that was and the week that is to become. So, I want to say welcome to everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in, rocking with us this evening. Before we get started, as we always do, want to say what's up to the All State PG All State coach. What's going on with you fellas?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Hey man, another day above ground, man. It's all good, man. Can't complain if we want to. I guess we can complain, but we pointless. So, want to just go ahead and start things right off. Want to pass the ball to the PG. First assist of the night. I don't know if you ready to take your shot yet or not, but if you do, two mistakes.
I called it.
Oh man.
Yeah, fellas. Y'all doubted me. I said Winter Haven gonna make it to the state.
Well, yeah, you did.
Hey boy, I heard you say that, huh?
I just, you did. You did. It don't hurt because I mean I don't know if we disagreed with you. I don't know we was as adamant as you was. I mean you've been that way from the jump. I'm just saying that. I mean Winter Haven going and they got a great shot. They got a great shot. It's just crazy how the last couple of days went, but you called it though, so you gotta pop your collar and give your flowers while you're here. You called that one preseason, so.
And they gonna the Winter Haven will be crowned state champs on Saturday at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Well, they definitely got a great opportunity. Got a great opportunity. So they have positioned themselves. It's almost like a couple years ago when Bartow won the second one when they beat Kathleen in the regional finals, and you had the feeling that the regional final game, and it turned out to be that way. The regional final game was tougher for Bartow than the state semi and the state final game, and so you kind of got that same feel. What's up, Newt? You kind of got that same feel, right or wrong, with this one that Lakeland probably is. You feel Lakeland's a tougher opponent than the other three guys that's still left in the Final Four. So you gotta love Lake, really love Winter Haven chances.
Yeah. Especially with the upset with Pembroke Pines, who was favored to win it, losing. I just feel that Winter Haven has the opportunity now that hopefully they don't. Hopefully Woodside calls a timeout if it gets that close. Hopefully call a timeout early and not after they down 5 and hit a big three. Hopefully call a timeout, utilize it. Hopefully they utilize the timeouts. He did a good job on Tuesday with utilizing the timeouts. Friday. He did a great job calling timeouts.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Payne, from him and Coach Jamie, they did a great job, and also an amazing coaching job by my brother, Coach Wilcox, in place. So that's all I have for two mistake, man. Throw that rock. I'm gonna throw that rock. No look past the Coach Billy D.
Appreciate that. Now the season is over except for one team in Polk County. As a coach, what are you doing right now? And as a player, what are you doing right now to get ready for next season?
Watching Winter Haven. I'll let Polk go first.
Hopefully you getting your if you're a returning player, hopefully you're getting your. I don't know. Hopefully you're getting your game plan together as far as, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute too. But hopefully you're getting yourself together as to off season conditioning, layup. as a player, and I don't know if this happens. Hopefully, you being kind of having a real conversation with yourself to see what it is as far as your game goes, where you're strong at, where you're weak at, and kind of some things you want to work on, and kind of give yourself some goals and some goals as far as where I want to be, where I'm at right now, where I want to be, and who I'm trying to play with. Conditioning camps, stuff like that. So hopefully that's the thing. If I'm a player, if I'm a coach, then I got to try to figure out who I'm going to have, who I may not have, what direction we trying to go. Um, like I said, we'll talk. I got a point about that. But as a current coach, I see you. I see you still throwing these little breadcrumbs out here with the these coach PG. You see these subliminal uh, hints we getting for the last 2 weeks, but you probably didn't catch it. You just said so. I know you didn't catch it. But anywho, as a current coach, what is it that you would say? I would say from a kid perspective, I don't know if they do it, but kind of self-evaluate. And from a coach, you got to kind of try to line up who you got and start having these conversations about plans that you have for them for next year. Some people like to wait, give them time off. Some people get right in the gym. I know one year McGriff them lost, and I think they lost like early, like first round or second round of the district. McGriff clocks with his kids right up to till the season was over with, because he was just like, it's still season, but he was practicing with next year kids, so he started like the Monday after the district semis. I mean, like they didn't even make it out of district that year, and they were over there practicing. So everybody's different with it, but that's kind of would be my initial take on what I would be looking at for next year team.
I would take the Scott Williams I would take the Scott Williams effect. I would have an individual meeting with all my players, what their expectations are. I mean, what are their goals, and then I would what the expectations is for them pretty much over the summer outside. I've been away from us, or playing AAU and everything, and then kind of what my roles would be for the players. Like, I mean, what we expect from each player coming back. Like, hey, this is your role. Give them a summer play. I have a summer plan laid out for, hey, this is what we're planning on doing this summer, so that you plan to be there for our team camps and etc. And just the workouts that you need to attend. To kind of be flexible with what if they're playing other sports, how much I can get them. But basically, just sitting having that one-on-one on the goals they have as players and what are the roles we're expecting for them when they come back.
I love that, because that's like a college approach. You had that exit meeting after the season.
Yeah.
Coach tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are, what the plan is for you to for next year, and skill development and everything like that. As far as me, I think that was great advice from you guys, especially from a player standpoint. But I really want to hit the coaching standpoint. What my suggestions are for them is that they do take a week or maybe two off, just to recharge their batteries. Because if not, you can overwork yourself, just like the kids can, playing too many games, during the AAU season, then having high school on top of that. So definitely take time to yourself, recharge your batteries. But after that, get back in the gym right away, skill development and everything. But do a reassessment on yourself and your team. Look at your strengths and weaknesses. Figure out what you want to do next year. Write that game plan out. Reach out to local college coaches, or coaches that you can get to in the area or maybe outside the area, to help you with information, and maybe get one-on-one with them to help you gain an advantage in those areas that you weak in. I used to do that all the time. Sean Hanahan down at Warner was a blessing. He came from the Gibbons tree over at Florida Southern, and he interacts with a lot of international guys as well as a lot of coaches here in the nation, and I was able to go down and sit with him like all the time and just gain knowledge, from him. And that was one of my key pieces on how I got better. And it's not only him. I went to coaching clinics, just spoke to all the successful coaches and just to gain knowledge so I can get better. And I'll be better when the next time me and my kids get together. But I think it's important that they lay out a plan, like Toomer said, have a game plan for skill development, have a game plan for team camps, have a game plan where they're going to play travel ball at. But also keep in mind, Gainesville approved for them to have an evaluation period this year in Florida so they can be in front of coaches. Remember, McGriff went outside the state last year in order to do that. They approved that for Florida this year. So I'm curious about what events are happening in the summer so those kids can get in front of coaches also. And hopefully coaches know that to put them in events so they can get in front of college coaches.
That's to piggyback on that. That's great advice about recharging and taking time away. See Coach Patton. I'm sorry, Mr. Patton. He's not a coach anymore. Mr. Patton, principal at Jenkins, kind of agreed with you that recharging is important. We started probably about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. Got a phone call from one of my former players, Sheldon Dennis, and so I picked up. What's going on, Coach? Hold on, Coach. And he clicked in, and it was Hen, Coach Hen, because his mama. Shout out to Miss Sheriff and not letting him have his phone up there where he had. She took his phone from him, so he got to get phone calls when people come up there to visit him. So shout out for that, because otherwise he'll probably be on that phone left and right. But anyway, so kind of going along with your point. So first of all, that just kind of made my day. So I'm walking on sunshine right now. But in light of, and I mean, it's we're not gonna really talk about it, but I mean, everybody know kind of what happened with Coach. In light of that, taking time off, reevaluating, recharging, I think it becomes a lot more important because it's kind of visual. It's out there in front of us right now. But all of that's great advice. How many coaches actually take it? Did you take it? Just being honest. I mean, you say that, but does a coach ever really take time off? So, I mean, hopefully this is a wake-up call for all coaches. You hated this, that it happened. And so glad that he's, God is just working in the miracle business. But you hope people take heed to it, but it's so hard for coaches to take off. They don't do that. That's great advice, but at least here in the county, coaches don't do that.
I mean, I had to take that advice from, shout out to Coach Bernie Hayes, my uncle. He gave me that advice, and only because not only was I coaching basketball, I was coaching football also. So I went from football to basketball to travel ball to spring football, back to high school basketball, back to travel ball, and back to football. So it was like all year for me. And he sat me down. He was like, nephew, like, hey, you got to take care of yourself. This stuff is going to be here, things of that nature. So luckily, I had the great coaching staff that I had that I was able to leave them in good hands. But I always took time, especially around my birthday, to make sure I took a week off to get recharged and, just make sure I was there for my kids physically and mentally, because it's a lot, Coach. It's a lot. It's stressful on the body, you know what I'm saying? And not only on the body, but mentally also. So, like I said, that's knowledge that we're giving to these other coaches, that they got to take care of themselves physically and mentally.
And like I said, we didn't want it to happen this way with Coach Hen, but hopefully it's a wake-up call, like you're saying, that coaches got to take care of yourself. I mean, you can be the best coach in America, but if you're not there, you gotta be there. You gotta be there for them, and so you gotta, as hard as it is, you kind of got to take that time off. And kind of segueing right out, this was the point. A lot of travel ball teams in the county, not a lot, but there's a couple that had like tryouts this weekend. Um, some had last weekend. I think some got coming up this weekend ahead of time. How do you do that? I mean, it's like I know like I say, it's travel ball season. So it's like some of these travel ball teams, nothing against travel ball. I've done travel ball for years, so I hope nobody will take this negative. But it's like the travel ball people like be waiting. So it's like you ready to they ready to get the kids, and of course the kids ready to go because they want to play and they kids. But to your point of getting that break in, it's like there is none. I mean that's what we're saying you need to do, but
I don't think kids need a break though.
you don't think who coaches need a break?
No, I don't think the kids do. I thought you said the kids. Coaches definitely need a break. I don't think the kids need a break. They don't play enough games, and they don't play enough games in a regular season to get a break. I mean,
But if who's gonna coach the kid? If you're head coach Cora Tuma at I don't know Mount Dora, Kathleen, whoever, Cedar Hill High, you're the head coach, and you got kids that's coming back, and you need to take a break. You want to take a break. You want to take time off, like Coach say, but you got the kids that you saying don't need a break. How do you? Because it's a couple train of thoughts with that. It's like, okay, we're gonna get our own team together. We're gonna stick together. We're gonna play games and we're gonna work together. And some people do that. There's train of thought where I got a high level kid or a couple high level kids. I'm gonna put them with a big time program. And then there's other train of thought where the kid is not a big time high level type kid, but I need him to get some work. So I'm gonna put him kind of, over here with a little bit of. So I see you smiling, Coach. But I mean, where do you? Because I had a talk with a coach today about this, and I told him we were going to talk about it on the show because somebody asked us to talk about this a couple weeks ago about travel ball, and I'm like, well, we're not going to talk about travel ball till the season over with, just out of respect to the teams that still playing. Well, we're not no disrespect to Winter Haven. So hopefully Winter Haven folks don't take it this way. But I mean, travel ball is here for the most part. So which way would you go with that? I mean, you want the kids to play. You're coaching. You need a break. How do you work? I mean, what do you do with that?
I'm not coaching my kids in the travel ball squad.
Okay.
I have no interest in that. I would not have any interest of coaching my kids in the travel ball squad.
So how you ensure they getting the work, like you said, in the extra games?
Coaches, you don't find too many Billy D's, Drew Taylors, Jimmy Johnsons, and those guys that coach AAU. Nowadays, AAU coaches are just AAU coaches. You don't have too many those type of guys that will actually take in other kids. But I would not want to coach my team in an AAU. I wouldn't want to coach them in an AAU season, especially if I got a good kid because I'm missing him. I don't see the chemistry if you don't got all of them. Just my opinion. I mean, I'm sure I'm totally wrong, but if I got two studs on my team and one's playing with one family, the other one's playing with each one, teach one, and then I got the rest of the kids, I'm putting them in the AAU, I don't see a benefit in it.
I'm with you on that, Toomer. But also, some have a break unwillingly because you got to have some programs losing the district tournament, so they get that break anyway. For 1 or 2 weeks before they even start the little travel ball trials. So whether you want to take a break or not, that break automatically comes because you didn't make it out of the district tournament. For those that are playoff teams, the Toomer is correct. Like, kids don't really need a major break because they don't play enough games. You only allowed to play 25 games and then you start the postseason. And a lot of times they don't even play 25 games. you know, and I was looking at tryouts today, man. I don't think a lot of these kids are working anyway. It was like hands on their knees. You know, they really don't prepare their body for it. And we've talked about that before. But like I said, kids don't need a break. They're young enough. And they need to train their bodies to get ready for that, playing at an elite level. So, but if the coach does it right, even if he does take a break, have scheduled days where they're doing skill development in the gym and then release them to their travel ball coaches. Like Toomer says, it's not a lot of us that does both, but you know, just make sure they're in a great situation where they're playing, getting better, and make sure they don't come back with bad habits.
So 2 parts of that. So you coaching, you got 8 kids returning, you got 2 horses, 2 studs, you got about 3 pretty decent kids, but the other 3 who are going to help you next year can't get onto a squad. So the other 5 of them got somewhere to play. The other 3 don't. What do you do then? And they want to play, they just don't have a team.
And if that's the case, you know, I've coached, you know, my other players. It's been, even with the 2012 team, that was pretty good. 2 of my players played with each one teach one. Well, actually 3 of them did, including Doug, and then the rest of them played with me. I actually had more fun, you know, coaching that team, you know what I'm saying, and watching those kids get better. So I understand it's Toomer's standpoint. For us, it kind of worked out. But it's all about, you know, development, and you just got to be just as much engaged with those kids as much as, you know, sending your other kids to bigger programs.
I mean, like you say, you don't have to worry about the kind of like, let's say Winter Haven right now. Let's say Lakeland right now. Just those 2 teams right off the top. Even Bartow, I guess. Not just saying them 3, but I guess their main kids won't have a problem finding somewhere to play. Even their kind of mid kids won't have somewhere to play, but there are going to be a few of their kids that are not going to be as up for a spot. So I just, you know, I guess it's kind of a, like, besides McGriff, does anybody else in the county keep their kid? Like, I know McGriff kids go out and play with other people, but he still plays like as the Bartow Blazers. At least I know he used to. I don't know if he still do. But like, does anybody else in the county do that? Like, keep their kids, even if their kids go off and play with somebody else, they still get X amount of games as the next year version of that school.
I would say Eric does with Armandale.
Yeah, Eric does it.
And Coach OC did with McKill this past summer.
Okay. Eric coach, like, Eric does what y'all do, right? He coaches
yeah, Eric don't stop coaching. He like,
I know what Eric does a great thing. I mean, he don't just coach his kids. He coach all those kids that you're talking about. Those kids that are the players that don't have somewhere to play. He gives them that opportunity.
Yeah.
FTL does that.
Yeah, I saw FTL had over 130 kids in the gym on Saturday. I don't know how many they had today, but they had over 130 kids over there in Chandler Lakes. Shout out to FTL, Vince and Miller. With, I don't know which age, age groups they got in there, but he had a whole lot of them in there though, running around.
Good deal.
Yeah. So, all right, I want to ask y'all this question. This happened on the college level, but just a question. In light of, I think it happened last week, the Michigan-Wisconsin ended the game with Juwan Howard and the stuff that happened with, you know, in the line where he, you know, got into it with the Wisconsin coach. I saw somebody post this on Twitter, and I just want to ask y'all, is it time to kind of look at doing away with the post-game handshake, like the post-game line where you shake hands and whatnot? I mean, during COVID, we didn't do it. and nobody wasn't an issue with it. So it's not like we hadn't done it. But in light of that, you're in a tense situation. End of the game, clearly Jordan Howard was mad, and he didn't really want to be bothered. And you got to go through it and shake hands, and you really don't want to shake hands, but it's the whole sportsmanship thing, it's a tradition thing. Is it time to revisit that, or is that just a one-time deal? Because it's done been coaches that walk through that line ain't trying to shake no hands. So I'm just putting it out there because of that incident. Maybe it's just an aberration, not the rule. But what's y'all take on that?
I mean, I think it's still a place for it, but also you got to know yourself and your kids. You know what I'm saying? I had a situation when I was coaching where it wasn't a great idea for us to shake hands, and I told the coach that after the game. He was kind of upset about it, but I already knew what was going to happen if we would have went through that line and shook hands. Now we playing referee in a brawl. It just wasn't worth it. So I think you got to kind of sense, if it's something you think is going to happen, just go ahead and make that decision. Like, hey, coach, we're not going to shake hands. Appreciate it and just keep it moving. But I still think it's a place for it. It's still a sportsmanship thing.
PG.
I think you should do it. I don't think they should go away from it. You just made a bad decision, man. You should have took the Scott Williams approach. Shake hands, looking at the other side of the bleachers, and just keep it walking. You get pissed off. You don't look the coach in the eye. Quick handshake and keep walking. Tell him good job.
But the thing is, like, he tried to avoid it. It seemed like at first, and the Wisconsin coach
he said something,
made him acknowledge and type this. So it's like, look, man, I'm already trying to not even deal with you, and you're gonna make me deal with you. So it's like, it just seemed like you saw that coming, and
I think he could have avoided it, man.
Yeah. I mean, he got to be the example, though, coach. He has to be the example.
He lucky.
Yeah.
I'm a Michigan fan of the Fab Five. He should have been fired.
Should have been fired. He ain't did nothing before then. He ain't had no issues. He ain't had no suspension. So he goes straight to automatic termination.
Bad look for college basketball, bro.
Don't you agree with that? Automatic termination? I mean, they gave him 5 games. They popped him for 5 games.
Yeah, lucky.
Yeah, I think he should have got popped for more, actually. I was thinking 10 games. But
the Wisconsin coach shouldn't have got nothing?
Wisconsin coach didn't throw a punch. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is,
y'all think Jordan Howard should have got fired? No.
I'm an educator, so I'm about progressive discipline.
I'm about to say no progression.
So there should have been a suspension. You know what I'm saying? I think it should have been a little bit stiffer. But he can't have another incident.
If that was Michigan, that was FAMU or something like that, he got fired.
That's possible.
He hit
because he's a Michigan guy.
Yeah, he hit another coach, but they couldn't take another bad look after the abandoning the Fab Five. They couldn't take another bad look for firing him. So he got lucky. He should have been fired though. He hit the coach. Bro, he almost caused a riot. Bro, listen. He almost caused a riot. We could have saw another Detroit Pistons situation. Then y'all have been saying he got fired. So the kids would have fought. And then fans would have jumped in and just said it got that bad. It'd been okay to just suspend him then?
But I'm saying that's not what happened. I'm saying based off of what happened.
Should have been fired. He hit the coach. So he opened up the door for them to actually fight.
Without no suspension.
Y'all ain't got the degree. I'll just give you my opinion.
Oh no, I know he ain't got the degree. I'm just like,
I should have been fired. Yeah, if I would hit a coach in a game like that, I'm supposed to be fired.
I don't know about fire. I think suspending him first was a good move. They suspended him, and it wasn't like a 1-game thing. They gave him 5 games, so they made it hurt a little bit. I just wonder, should the Wisconsin coach have not gotten anything?
Hey, so Antonio should have been fired, right? Just question, since Antonio Brown shouldn't have been fired for taking his jersey off and walking off.
Should he have been fired?
He couldn't have played for me no more.
So it's okay. So it's okay for the president of a $1 billion school to allow their coach to almost cause a brawl amongst kids by slapping the coach in the face after he lost. You gotta take that on the chin, man. All that stuff is in the same. He lucky.
He is lucky. But my thing is, you can't tell your kids to take the higher road now. Like, coach, you just punched the other coach in the face. Like,
but in the school system, if we gonna jump back into education, unless it's changed now, I'm not in Polk County Public Schools anymore. If you initiate or you participate, you get some type of consequence as well. Is that still the case?
It's still the case, but what did he do? He didn't. Did he?
So do y'all not feel like the Wisconsin coach initiated that at all? No.
I mean,
I'm just asking.
Man, I mean, Juwan was upset about.
You didn't know what happened. You saying the man to be fired, and you ain't even watch what happened.
I just saw him slap the dude. I ain't watch all that.
You know what led up to the slap, though? You just saw the end result.
I ain't caught all them videos. I ain't got to watch all that to know that all I know is he got mad because they were down 14 with the press. They were pressing or whatever, and he called a timeout. And he ain't like the coach call a timeout. What he pressing for? Why are you doing press with 5-6 seconds to go? All of them wrong on both ends, but at the end of the day, he slapped the dude. But I ain't gonna like sit there and watch the video of him, the coach calling the timeout, they arguing and all that. Man, he slapped that dude in the face, man. Fire. He got millions of dollars. He'll be all right.
It's tough.
The minute you blowing a team out, and the Billy D effect. So Billy D, you supposed to got fired for pressing your kids not knowing how to pick up a half court, and coaches getting pissed off.
I didn't say fired. I'm saying he should have got some discipline, not fired.
So Billy D should have been punished with Lake Wells in 2012 when them boys didn't know how to do nothing but pick up full court. He supposed to got punished for beating people by 40.
Come on, coach. I backed them up.
Man, you know how to back, bro. First of all, this is Wisconsin. When have you equated Wisconsin to pressing? First of all, Lake Wells press. That's what they do. Wisconsin don't press. So
they was up. Listen, they was up 14 or something, right?
Yeah, they was up, and they called 2 timeouts in the last minute, bro, to keep pressing the people.
Who was pressing? That's who was pressing.
Wisconsin was pressing.
Was.
And they when have you known Wisconsin to press, bro?
Hey, what he did to them guys last year?
Like Syracuse up 30 and then come out, call timeout, start pressing. When Syracuse ever pressed?
What was the score last year? He must have beat Wisconsin pretty bad.
Listen, I'm not justifying the slap, Newt. I'm saying he should have got punished. He should have got suspended. I'm saying he should have got suspended, not just straight fired. But my question is, and I'm not saying right or wrong, I'm saying should the Wisconsin coach have gotten some type of discipline too? He didn't get nothing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
getting something for making his kids play. Come on, coach. That man didn't do nothing. That man didn't do nothing to warrant getting slapped.
He incited the reaction that he got. That's the way I saw it.
I mean, it was unsportsmanlike to do things like that. Okay, we understand that, but I don't think he should have got a punishment.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm in the minority on that, and I'll take that. I just think that the man ain't just line up and slap you just off nothing. He kind of hurt. He kind of got that one.
Hey, all I know is he beat Wisconsin last year, 82-57.
You research.
No, he beat them 77-54 in the game they played and he beat them 67-59.
I'm just surprised by all these coaches. These coaches so hardcore tonight. I'm just Coach Billy D, Coach Truman, Coach Jones, Coach Higgins, Coach London, Coach Marcellus, everybody. So Coach Patton, I'm gonna call you Coach right now, Coach Patton, as opposed to Mr. Patton. All these coaches, I would expect the coaches to kind of have some sympathy to the man, but all the coaches saying off with his head too. So hey, I'm the only coach that can kind of sympathize with old Jawan, man, and you know
bro, he ain't got the coach again. He got right back in the NBA as a coach.
I get it. I understand. It's a tough room. It's a tough room. So, all right, man. Well, let's move on to the week that was. Had 4 games on Tuesday, and we had 1 game on Friday. So the Tuesday games first. We'll go from 2A up to 6A. 2A we had Victory traveled over to thank you, Coach Downer. I got one coach with me. Victory traveled over to Orlando, and it wasn't a good visit. They lost to OCP 70-38. Santa Fe traveled down south to Boca Raton, and they lost to John St. Paul 66-55. Winter Haven was at home. Wekiva came over, and Winter Haven beat them 70-50. And Lakeland also was at home, and Lakeland held on in a thriller and beat Kathleen 52-50. Any feedback or anything, since we ain't been on to talk about it, about the Tuesday games before we talk about the Friday game?
Kathleen gave it away, man. For everything that had happened in the situation, Kathleen just played so good. They didn't play. Let me take that back. They didn't play so good. They played enough to win the game. So what I mean by so good, they put themselves in a good situation. But to see that it's the same thing, them turn the ball over, just crazy passes that didn't, just crazy stuff happened. That
I thought Kathleen missed a lot of layups, especially in the second half. And I think if they make them layups, they win the game. But also the last show, remember I mentioned about free throws and like actually trying to mimic pressure in practice. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Kathleen had a chance to tie the game and send it to overtime with their best player. Bro, it's tough on that line with all them people in the stands, all the lights. You know what I'm saying? You can't mimic that in practice, man. You know that it put kids in a really, really tough situation.
Boy, that stomach was boiling at that time, boy.
Even then, they got the rebound and had a chance to tie it, and kid missed the layup.
Wide open layup.
But the thing is, and the thing about Kathleen, man, they are going to be like, I ain't gonna say what they're going to be. I would imagine, I can't speak for Kathleen, players or coaches, but I would imagine that they're gonna be sick for a long time, because I don't feel like Lakeland won that game. I feel like Kathleen lost that game. And
great game plan. I mean,
it was a great game plan. It was a great game plan. And they executed it well enough to win the game. That's the thing. When you put a game plan in as a coach, I mean, being realistic, at the most, what, about 80% of the stuff that you want to do gonna work? 100% of that stuff ain't gonna work. The rest of it's gonna be just about kids making plays. So the fact that they executed their game plan so well and gave themselves multiple chances. I mean, they was in control of that game pretty much the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave themselves a chance to win the game. And then they do stuff like you say, miss a layup. I mean, it's layups. And it wasn't one, they was missing like multiple layups. They legitimately probably was about 5 to 7 points better than Lakeland on Tuesday. They left it out there. So I know they're gonna be I know they're gonna be sick. I know they're gonna be sick. I just
Great.
even a lot of stuff that happened. Kathleen still, I mean, put themselves in a great position to win. They just didn't do it. So I know they're gonna be sick with that one. They gotta be sick with that one.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this: after we watched Lakeland all year, are y'all surprised? Because we communicated and talked about their weakness all year. Are we surprised that how things went down for them the last 2 games? Because I'm not surprised. They couldn't shoot. They didn't run anything, and it caught up with them. And what side did the best? What side might have made the best move that we were waiting for all year by adjusting and going to different zone looks? They shot 24% from the field goal against Winter Haven, man.
Tough to win games like that.
Well, let's just transition right into it. So Friday, Lakeland.
Talk about the other game. They lost. I mean, you guys had Santa Fe moving on after they won the first game. I thought they would make it. I was like, yo, they're gonna make it to state. And
I think this was their best chance from the previous 2 years. They actually had a chance to make it this year.
I agree.
The other 2 years, they wasn't gonna make it with the teams that they had to run up against. But
yeah, hands with the upsets, and then we knew OCP was gonna do to. So that's not a surprise.
Yeah, I'm sure that Santa Fe is a little sick also. But from what I understand, the people went to pressure, which we said the one thing that could give Santa Fe some problems if a team decided to press them, because after Trey, it was kind of the ball handling wasn't as consistent with the other guys. And so that's what the people did apparently the second half, and that's how they end up getting the win. But you had to like Santa Fe chances. Like Coach said, this was the best as far as that region went. They had a great opportunity to get to the White House. So Friday, regional final. Yeah, second half pressure, Coach. That's what I understood. That kind of did y'all in, Coach Pruitt with Santa Fe. So I know that was disappointing because they actually had a real legitimate shot to get that. We had y'all. I know me and Coach had y'all in the Civic Center.
So I didn't have them after the first game. But once they won that, I said they were probably gonna make it. I said they're gonna make it.
Yeah, I thought they had a great shot. So I know they sick too. So regional final, we had the 1 and 2 teams. The top 2 teams all year long in the county end up playing in the regional final. So I guess for that sake, we got that right. Even though they was 5 and 6 seeds, they were probably 2 of the top. They wasn't probably. They was 2 of the top 10 teams in the state all year, and they ended up playing the regional final. And when I talked to him today, I was like, asked him what he had heard about the game. He said he had heard some stuff, but he hadn't heard a lot. So he hadn't looked at it yet. I said, well, that's good. You don't need to look at it till you get from out of here. You probably need to look at it then. But if you'd have told me, Coach, either one of y'all as coaches, if somebody would have told you before Friday that your team is only going to give up 49 points for the whole game, you would have to think that, man, we on the way to the White House.
Exactly.
If we can hold a team to 49 points in 4 quarters, we got to feel real good about that. But they didn't tell you that you wasn't going to score but 39 points. So it's like, bro, how many games do you lose when you only give up 49 points? So for Lakeland, they got to be sitting there like, man, we didn't give up 49 points. But then Winter Haven to PG point, Winter Haven did that was a great game. And we could talk about it now, but we was talking about this pregame. All 3 of us on the conference call. What was the question? Do we think that Winter Haven is going to go and play zone? Are they going to play that 1-3-1? Because they hadn't played it. They hadn't showed it. So we were like, well, this is going to be the game to show it. And a couple of us thought they would. A couple of us thought they wouldn't. But they ended up showing the 1-3-1. They put some 2-3 in. They just kind of switched those zone look 1-2-2. Yeah. And it was a great coaching move by the Winter Haven coaching staff. That was outstanding because they made Lakeland prove they could hit shots, and Lakeland couldn't hit shots. So to their credit, they did exactly what. Bro, can you hide that? Jerry Young, whoever that is, getting loose. But they did a great job of, to their credit, of that game plan was perfect. In my opinion, the defensive game plan was perfect for them to move on. Go ahead.
I don't even know how to delete this stuff, bro. It's on
Look like you delete it. I don't see it now. It look like I don't see it now. But let me see if I can do it.
I mean, but the zones did what they were supposed to do. You know, they made them take tough, challenge shots from outside, and they wasn't able to hit them. That's why when I coach against zone,
I got it, bro. I got it.
I preach to my kids about getting into the gap of the zone off the dribble. And I think in the midst of everything that was going on, it just didn't look like a hen team either. You know what I'm saying? So, but kudos to Coach Woodside and his coaching staff for the game plan that they came out with and stuck with throughout the game.
So I'm confused on that. I'm confused on that, Coach. What are you the second person to say that? What is it? Don't look like a hen team? They look like they looked all year.
I was only able to watch them, a few times. And let's go back to the last game that they played against Winter Haven. They out hustled and played harder than Winter Haven the entire game, and that's how they won that game. They didn't do that this time.
This time, bro, I'm at the game. They out hustled them. You know what the difference was, in my opinion? They came out in the first quarter and made shots. Players that were Mari and all those guys made shots that was expected not to be made. So they jumped out 12-4. All right. This time, Winter Haven didn't give up the early lead. They only beat Winter Haven in one quarter of the first game. They took an 8 to 9 point lead in the first quarter in that game, and Winter Haven tried to fight as much as they can to get back in. This time, the game was the opposite, and they was able to cut it to 3.
Yeah.
To Coach's point, I kind of agree. I don't think the kid and maybe they did, but from my viewpoint, I don't think the kids played. I thought they played harder or as hard as Winter Haven, but I don't think they played as hard as they played the first game. I don't think they played hard. Say again?
They made shots early, bro, so that made them look like they played hard. They did not. They played hard. They couldn't put it in the bucket.
Understood.
They look. If we talking, and I may get some, and that's fine. They look tired. They didn't look. A couple of the players. Let me say it that way. Not everybody, but they look tired Friday to me.
What I see in the tumor was like the 50-50 balls, and they were able to get offensive rebounds in the first game. Winter Haven did a great job on the board and limited them to like one shot. And they showed in the stats, 24%, that's a great defensive job by Winter Haven.
They look selfish, bro. Just point blank. Offensively, they look selfish, dog. That's been their problem all year. They just caught up with them.
And I agree with that. And another part of the Winter Haven game plan that was different from the first time is that I don't know who talked to Jamie. Not Jamie. I don't know who talked to Dylan. And Dylan played like a top 60 post player. He went inside, and you remember the first game, he hung out around the 3-point line the whole game. He was a perimeter guy. He went inside and he was effective inside. He was dunking. He was changing shots, and so that was big too. That was big that he went in and commanded inside. But to your point, it against a zone, and we all know this. We've coached and we played. You gotta run something. You gotta get a couple passes. You gotta attack the gaps. You gotta kind of be patient against a zone. I just think that Winter Haven did a great job on defense, especially switching those zones. And I just think Lakeland never got comfortable on offense. So the fact that they only scored 39 points definitely has a lot, most, if not all of it has to do with the defense that Winter Haven plays. So make sure, for me anyway, I'm speaking for me, I want to make sure it's understood. I'm not taking nothing away from Winter Haven. Winter Haven did a great job on defense. But to Lakeland point, Lakeland, I don't think Lakeland did enough to move the zone. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about moving the zone. I don't think they moved the zone with ball reversal, with driving and cutting, with, attacking gaps. I don't think they attacked the zone. I don't think they made Winter Haven have to do much other than just sit in the zone and be 6'8", 6'6", 6'5". The little Mayo kid who quick as all get out, the Matt kid who's sick. So I mean, they had. I don't think they ever made them work in the zone. But I mean, and obviously we it goes without saying, because I don't want to take nothing away from Winter Haven. First of all, shout out to Winter Haven, man, for the class act with them putting the pink thing on the uniforms to be, even though they was playing against Lakeland, everybody was understood we was there for support Coach Hen. So shout out to Coach Woodside and Winter Haven for that. I want to make sure we don't lose sight of that. But we get that it was real tough. I don't think nobody's. It's so tough, man. Because you don't want to seem like you like blaming the kids, because what frame of mind would any group of kids be in with what they had to go through, seeing what their coach had went through during the actual game, and what he still going through, for them to mentally have to get together for a game and go out here and win. That's a lot for a high school kid to deal with. So we're not minimizing that if they wasn't all there, I don't think nobody could blame them or. But
I'm Team Hen.
Yeah.
I was with Hen Monday for breakfast, and we sat around for an hour and a half. Man, them people weren't gonna beat Winter Haven like playing like that the second time, with Hen or without him. I don't want to sit here and make it an excuse game, man. Let's give Winter Haven some credit.
Bro,
Lakeland had problems offensively that they didn't have an answer for. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, we give it. Well, I want to make sure. That's why I said I want to make sure I'm giving Winter Haven credit for the job they did on defense. I think they won the game on defense and sending Dylan inside in the paint. I think those are the two things that they didn't do the first game. So I'm not taking nothing from Winter Haven.
Dylan played well. To me, Dylan didn't play well. Dylan started off how Mari started off for Lakeland. That was the switch. Because Dylan only had 6 points, and he was in foul trouble all game.
But Dylan made a difference on defense, what I'm saying.
Supposed to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He played that way, but he got the top 60, not because of what he's doing on offense. He got it because he's such a different defensively.
You're definitely right by that. When he was in the game, he was very effective defensively for them trying to attack. And it seemed that they played more man with Dylan than they played zone. But yeah. Just for me, honestly, I don't think Lakeland was gonna beat them anyway. They just didn't play. They didn't look good together the last 2-3 weeks, bro. They didn't look good together. They didn't look good to me. They wasn't impressive to me when they beat Winter Haven, just because of how selfish it was on the basketball. And it's not that the kids were selfish; it just was nothing there. And I kept saying it. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no. Let me just knock Lakeland now. The offense, the way they play offensively, just wasn't a good vibe of basketball, man, to watch. Got guys were backing down doing NBA post moves, shooting fadeaways, 1-on-5, trying to get to the bucket. It wasn't what you saw in the summer with a pass and kick, finding open. I mean, they did a lot of good stuff. Tyler's IQ of finding people going to the basket is a lot different from any other guy, but it was just a lot of standing, and whoever got the ball tried to attack 1-on-5. It just wasn't good basketball, man. And I don't understand why they didn't press the whole. I never understood why Lakeland, as athletic as they was, I think they probably would have been easy to the White House if they pressed all year. I would have been with the way they play defense, bro. It was kind of amazing to see that they only did it when they got down 12.
I definitely agree with that. I thought if it was me, I thought that's when we talked about it. I thought that's where Lakeland had the advantage, because I thought Winter Haven had the advantage in a half court game. I thought Lakeland had the advantage in a full court game. And for whatever reason, Lakeland, to like I say, third quarter when they got down 14, and they cut it to 7 from 14 to 7 in 30 seconds. So I was a mystery to me that they didn't pressure more, but it definitely helped. It definitely helped Winter Haven because they was able to settle in and do enough to get the win. But
that's going to be Winter Haven. Now that's going to be what's going to be interesting with Winter Haven, because if one of these three teams, one of the 2 or 3 teams they might have to face in those 2 games is a full court pressing team, boy, they have no answer for anybody that can pick them up full court without them turning it over.
And I just
the team that they're playing on Thursday is not a full court pressing team.
Oh, they'll win that game, that championship game. Then, if you don't press Winter Haven, you can't. If you don't press Winter Haven or pick their guards up at least 3/4, pick up Jamie and make Phillips give it up, where he can't just initiate the offense, you can't beat Winter Haven.
I agree with that. I think you got to pressure him, and Lakeland didn't pressure him for whatever reason. I know I would have.
Well, when they got down 12, they just started to pick up, bro. And it was turnover after turnover after turnover.
And Winter Haven did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to dominate the paint. If you got a 6'5", 6'6", and 6'9" guy, and Lakeland biggest guy that they playing is 6'5", and he a guard, you got to win the paint battle. And they did. In the first game, surprisingly, they didn't win the paint battle, which you figure they should have. So this game they won it. And like you say, Lakeland just never ran nothing. They never ran nothing. But if it's me, and we've talked about this before, it's no knock on them, but Jamie and Isaac are not one. They're not one guards. They're combo guards. They can handle the ball. They're effective. But if it's me, I would if I picked them up full court and Isaac and Jamie were able to handle it and beat me, then I'd be okay with that. But they would have to beat me. They would have to beat me beating pressure. And like you say, Lakeland got 8, 9, 10 guys, so they can just throw guys out there. So it was kind of a mystery that they didn't do it. But I do think that
Coach, I ain't mean to cut off, but my best friend talking about Lakeland had a nice set with Williams in the mid. Man, what he was watching? See, no set. What game you were watching, Mike? You got the wrong game. And those was effective.
Mike, they got a set, man. What they call it, Mike?
Man, Mike, man, what are you talking about?
All right. So Winter Haven moves on to the White House. Blue Devils will be representing the county. What do they need to win? What do they need to do?
Not turn it over.
Not turn it over and be tough defensively. Dylan is a difference maker when he's altering shots, blocking shots, and they limit people. It's not only Dylan. You know what I'm saying? Isaac is tough down there too. You know, Isaac lead the team in rebounds. You know what I'm saying? The game is going to be won defensively. They have the pieces to be tough defensively. And if you never played in the Civic Center before, it's tough to shoot in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, if I'm watching film of the kid that transferred from Santa Fe, Jesus Christ, they wouldn't even guard him. They sat down in the paint and told him, you better shoot it. And he wouldn't shoot it. They got some problems they got to fix now. Because, boy, listen.
But I think defensively, they're going to be tough to beat. It's going to be tough to score on. So I like their chances with the teams, especially with Pembroke Pines losing. I like their chances to actually win it all. But they're going to have to go out there and take it. It's not going to be given to them.
If I was playing against Winter Haven, if I wasn't picking them up full court, I would play them in zone.
Man, I'm playing a zone that's so packed in. Cause boy, when you do 2 dribbles and pull up a jumper.
That's what I'm saying. Cause who consistently gonna hit shots? That would be Dylan. So, but if you got Dylan outside, then who? I mean, that's what I would do. I would press him first of all. But if not, I would play zone. Dylan is their best shooter to me. But
if Dillon goes outside, they got to post up Salazar. It can't be Phillips posting up and Salazar standing at the key, not able to try to get rebounds. They got to figure out a way to make sure that Salazar is more post up because Jamie can shoot better. Salazar can't shoot the 3 ball either. So if Dillon's gonna come out, Salazar got to go down to the post.
Mike a little biased, but if you doing a scout report, you would lay off of Vaughn. That's the kid from Santa Fe, transfer from Santa Fe.
Don't shoot with your hands. Vaughn, they don't shoot with your hands. If he had 3 hands, he wouldn't shoot.
You feel like JP is a better 3-point shooter than Dillon?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think he's a better one. But he's effective shooting 3. But like I said, I've seen the team that they're playing. It looks like a Midwest team, like from like Indiana or Kentucky. Yeah, I think if Winter Haven speed the game up, it's going to give them problems. Winter Haven length is going to give them problems. That team is going to have to come in and shoot well to beat Winter Haven. Like, I think Winter Haven is going to win the semifinal game by double digits.
Winter Haven by 10, 15.
Yeah, so the Winter Haven play Thursday for everybody. Hopefully y'all go out and check them out. Thursday, 8 o'clock. They got the primetime game against who is it now? They who they play Thursday?
Ponte Vedra.
Ponte Verde. They play Ponte Verde. Who they should kill on Thursday.
Don't play no Polk County team and win. I don't care how well coach is. You ain't tough enough.
Yeah, I don't see. Winter Haven. I think Winter Haven will put Salisbury and them on Thursday. Easy. And then Saturday they play either Martin County or Tampa Wharton, right?
Yeah.
Now, so we already done pushed them through the Saturday. We feel like they're gonna drag the people on Thursday. Saturday, how we feel about them on Saturday?
I think Martin County gonna be a battle. You see Martin County beat Pembroke. That means they're doing something that can be effective against Winter Haven. I still like Winter Haven to win it all. And if they play Wharton, I definitely like Winter Haven.
Yeah, definitely like Winter Haven.
They beat Pembroke Pines in their gym, right? They beat them. Pembroke won the 1 seed?
Yes.
Yeah, Pembroke was the 1 seed, so they beat them in their gym.
Yeah, so
no. Actually, Martin County was, I think.
Martin County was. I thought Pembroke was the 1 seed.
It doesn't matter though. You know what I'm saying? They beat Pembroke Pines, and I think they won back-to-back championships at Pembroke.
Sure.
So, to go in there and do that. But let's not take away nothing from Mountain County because they've been knocking at the door too. They've been in the Final Four. If it's not last year, the 2 years before that. So they knocking at the door with them and their coach. So, I bet you they feel that it's their time too.
So we all 3 of us like Winter Haven Thursday. Who we like Saturday?
We
like Winter Haven Saturday too.
With the county, I'm gonna ride with the county.
We like Winter Haven regardless.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I picked my boys to make it to state, man. I'm riding.
Oh boy, hey, you heard him, coach? He picked his boys. You picked them, bro, but you be so.
Ride with my boy. I really think it's gonna be a war on Saturday. It's gonna be a straight out war on Saturday.
I'm riding with the boys, man.
What does Martin County do? Do you know?
I've seen them, I think last year, and they were long. They pressure. They do pressure.
So it could be a mirror. They looking in a mirror with Martin.
Yeah. All I knew is my best friend live in Winter Haven, man.
Hey, he talking about something. His boy, you hear him, Mike? His boys.
my best friend live in Winter Haven, man.
Oh, so now he putting physical markers down. He got people over there. He got family over there in Winter Haven too, man. Yeah. I've been rolling deep in Winter Haven, man. My people.
Yeah. And last time I seen Martin County, that was long too. So I'm curious on what they got down there.
So Martin County press, Coach Shake said they press. If Martin County press,
they do.
That could give Winter Haven some.
Man, Winter Haven deserves this, man. I really want to see it for Coach Woodside on Winter Haven. They don't been a couple times.
I want Winter Haven to win it because, like you say, Winter Haven is due, and Coach Woodside just good guy. Just Real good guy. I mean, he got good kids. For him to do that, even the thing about Friday, that kind of did it for me with him supporting. I mean, he could have been like, man, we just locked in with what we doing, which he clearly was, but he still thought enough of just the situation for them to still support him, even though they was going to play against. So for me, that was major league, because I don't know many people that would have took a moment to think enough about the opponent to do that. But you all know when it's the counter, we go with the counter regardless, whether we right or wrong, whether we bias or not. That's what. So we went. I just hope the people show up. I mean, they gave Winter Haven an 8 o'clock game. They gave primetime game for the thought that people was going to pack the gym. The whole people packed the gym for Winter Haven Thursday and Saturday.
East Polk County.
That's why I said hopefully the county come out, not just the Winter Haven people. Hopefully the county come out, and it's the only team that we got left. Hopefully they come out and Coach Princeton. I know he probably played Martin County. He said they play a lot of full court. So if they can handle the pressure, which looks like they're going to be getting pressure, if they can handle the pressure, which once again, if I'm going to be playing Winter Haven, I'm going to pressure them. Not saying they can't handle it, but they're just going to have to show it. And so if Martin County going to press them, I mean, we know they got to get past Thursday, but we feel pretty good about them getting past Ponte Verde. That we don't expect them to. Coach Woodside, he a top level guy. If you got an issue with Coach Woodside, man, you just got to kind of check yourself, man. That's just he's just a good guy, man. He just same all the time, always even killed, treat everybody the same. So that's. And his kids kind of play that way too. You know, his kids, he got very respectful, good kids, and they're just good people. So they ain't like you can't even like dislike them or be mad at them because they're just good people. You know, if it's Martin, well, yeah, he coached Woodside, and y'all Winter Haven people on here. Coach Shape got some intel on Martin County. I think Coach Princeton played them too from Sebring. So. We want to make sure we get Coach Woodside everything he needs so he can go in and knock these people off, man. He do. He done been there a couple times, so he clearly do. What is like his 5th time getting there, Coach? I know he got there 2 times with he got there with Chance them. He got there with Chance them twice. He got there with Chance twice.
He got there with Chance. He'd been there 3 times as a head coach.
Hey,
but he was on Grant.
Because I know we're gonna be cutting short tonight. But how interesting was Friday's game, man, to see the transfer back from Winter Haven, 3 transfer out, and they all play to go to state.
Just imagine if they were still all together.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
That we supposed to be seeing all of them together. I know
none of them seniors either.
The moves worked out better for Rowan Tyler because football became a valuable piece of what their future looks like. You know what I'm saying? So you can't knock the move because what they're getting, football, is X's out the basketball situation. But just imagine, for all of them being underclassmen, juniors and sophomores, what the next 2 years would look like if they would have all stayed together.
They would be nationally ranked. They would be one of them type of national ranked teams around here. That's not, which is an aberration because most national ranked teams be like a Calvary Christian or Montverde or IMG. They would have been just a regular high school team with kids that's supposed to be there. That would have been national or that would.
Does it hurt that you leave and you leave the school you leave and they make it to state?
Yeah, you're gonna think about it. You're gonna feel some type of way.
Gotta hurt a little bit, right? I don't know about hurt. I don't know if hurt the right word, but it gotta make you think a little bit, though.
You're gonna think a little bit, but at the same time, I know that those kids communicate all the time. They are friends, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna wish them well too.
What if they're winning and you wasn't there?
I mean, like I said, you human. You're gonna think about it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You made a decision. You got to live with that. And that, judging by what has happened in football, that was the right decision for those kids. I mean, but hindsight, yeah, you wish you was.
So this
where
the
you
last
started.
okay. Now that we're out of that, right? And now that we see that these kids are getting these big time offers, you play next year, do you leave for school? Was this the year that Lakeland had to win it?
This was the year. We
kids-
talked about business decisions in episodes before, right? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to business decisions, if they ask me, those kids, Tyler and Roe will be leaving in January. You know what I'm saying? Leaving in January, early enrolling, getting into that weight program, getting into the conditioning program, and playing spring ball and getting ready, for the fall.
Because both of them small, both of them
qualified. They're great kids, and they're great kids too. Come from great families, you know what I'm saying. But it's possible their love for basketball that they stay. It is very much possible that they stay because they love basketball so much.
Because even though they had the success in football, basketball is one. From what I understand, basketball is still one with both of them. Mm-hmm. Like they're one love. I mean, but from a team standpoint, clearly basketball ain't the ticket, but it's what they like. They prefer basketball over football. Yeah, I guess PG. I see you like you. We're gonna leave it there.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about it. I don't care.
So yeah, that would have been crazy if they would have kept them three along with the three they got. But then if they kept the three that they got, that changes what Isaac and JP are doing too. They wouldn't be guards like they are right now. Them guys would have stayed. I would imagine, they roles would have changed a little bit too. So that would have been.
But you make that sacrifice to be a nationally ranked team and possibly going to the Geico National Championship. You make that sacrifice. I mean, what's more important, your individual stats or you being one of the top teams in the nation?
Man, would that have been one of the first teams we would have seen with 5 Division I basketball players at a public school in Polk County?
If they would have stayed, yeah. Yeah, because 3 of them going, the 3 that's there still. Tyler would have been 4 and Rowe would have, I think, Rowe too. And the thing over there, I mean, Mike, I know that football is where they're going to check at. I'm just saying their first love is basketball, but the smart move is football. But that ain't their first. All right,
where y'all go? Oh, we go. Do we see any coaching changes this summer? And the last add on to that is Billy D going back into the coaching.
That is hilarious.
I'm saying to question 1, I say yes. And to question 2, I say yes.
Question 1, I say yes. Question 2 is no way. No way.
That sounds good. What it says? Let me look at my computer. February 27th. You know how them coaches when they ask them coaches right after the season, I just need time to no. They either say no, I need time or whatever. On that right after. So if you put that camera in their face right after the season, you're gonna get that right after the season answer. But all I know is, Coach, we've been on this. How long we've been doing this show for a little while now.
For a little while. And this is the first time I've seen Coach with a Lake Well shirt on since we've been on this show. I've seen a lot of other schools, a lot of other messages, a lot of other representation. This is the first time I've seen Coach. You tell me if I'm wrong, PG. This is the first time I've seen him with a Lake Well shirt on since we've been on here.
All I see the man wear is purple and gold every Sunday.
I mean, he wears other stuff, but but what I'm saying is he wears purple and gold, but when he wears other schools, I've never seen a Lake Wells representation before tonight. So I ain't saying nothing. Let me put my hands up. What the kids do? We put my hands up. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying what my eyes see, and trying to find a new co-host. Yeah, if he go back into the coaching, he got other stuff he's gonna do, huh? Yeah, you saw him today, Coach Billy D. Coach Jimmy asking about the Lake Wells Hall of Fame. So he got the Lake Wells shirt on. Coach, I ain't the smartest guy in the world, never been. But I'm just 1-1, still 2, even in Lake Wells. It's still equal 2 over there in the east side of Polk County, just like it do on the west side. So, but to answer your question, PG, I say 1. There's going to be some new coaches, and I also say 2. I don't know where, but I'll be very surprised if Coach is not coaching next year.
I would not pursue any coaching opportunities.
He didn't actually go pursue. See how you just cleaned that up? I see it.
I would not pursue.
Hey, Coach Prince, you see how he Coach Down, see how he just cleaned that up? He won't pursue anything. He didn't say I won't pursue. Well, you know how coaching go, you don't pursue it pursues you. So, but anywho. Coach Hagan, we read through the lines. We read. I read through the lines when we came on the show, and I saw him click on this camera, and I saw black and orange. I ain't seen black and orange all year. So
come on, man, I'm highlighting the born and bred. Come on,
you been highlighting all your life, Coach. I ain't saying you ain't. I'm just saying this first time I seen you was highlighting the gear on. Is what I'm saying. I know you. I know. We know you. We definitely know that's what you bleed, Coach, and we respect that. So, but we also know what our eyes see as well. That's all. That's all we're saying, Coach. So, all right, man. Well, appreciate y'all rocking with us again tonight, man. Congratulations to the Winter Haven Blue Devils on making it back to the White House, aka RP Funding Center. They play their semifinal game on Thursday night, 8 p.m. against Ponte Verde. You all make sure y'all get out there and support the Blue Devils as they represent the county. We expect them to turn the people like water off on Thursday. And then Saturday, the championship game will be, what you said, 5:30, bro? Championship game is 5:30. That's the start time? Or was it later than that?
Their game will be. Their game will be at 5 o'clock, right, Billy?
I think so. I'm gonna check it right now.
So they'll have a matinee game, the game, because this what is 4A, 6A, and 8A. It's 6, 7, and 8A on Saturday, right? So they 5:30. We expect them to be in the championship game. So y'all check them out, man, as they bring home Coach Woodside. We predicting Coach Woodside gets his first state championship, man, and no better deserving guy to get one. He is due. So Coach Woodside,
5:30 p.m.
We behind you at Polk Hoops. Whole city behind you, whole county behind you, man. So congrats, Winter Haven again. And man, as we get off, man, if you all are going to if you do it, we're not telling you to do it, but if you pray, continue to set them up for Coach Hen, man. Coach Hen is a walking miracle, man. We know that God is real and He in the blessed business, man. So you all keep praying. It is definitely working. I know He appreciates it. I know his mom appreciate it. I know his sister appreciate it. I know the whole Dreadnought family appreciate it. So y'all keep praying for Coach Hen, man. It is working. It's working. Thank you, God. It's working. So once again, we out. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Go ahead and y'all number one fan who called it. Y'all go ahead and finish out his profit. PG called it early on. So man, y'all good luck to the Blue Devils this week, man. So till next time, Coach Hen, man, we praying for you, man. We love you, boss. Till next time, man. Polk Hoops. Everybody be safe this week, and we out. Thank y'all for rocking with us once again.
Peace.